Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Prison Break. This is the third episode of the third season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in a link in the description below. Just click it, put the password in and enjoy. The last episode we learned the name of the person that Michael is going to be extracting and hopefully successfully escaping away from the prison. Now interestingly, we was told that he's being accused of killing, yes, the mayor's son, I believe they said it was. Now people inside the prison have got a bounty on his head because we was informed by the man in charge that if he gets caught, then the mayor is close friends with the judge and basically they will swing it their way that they can probably get a reduced sentence or let out. So everybody's looking for this guy, but he seems to have been missing for quite some time. Now, Michael's obviously found him with the help of Bellic because obviously in the sewers he gave him some food because he was trying to get a note into Michael's pocket or the dead guy that Mahomes did kill when Michael was fighting, which obviously kind of like trickled steamroll of events and obviously Michael finding him and then Mahomes watching Michael and his activities and going down and finding Wheeler himself. He learned obviously about the reward, Mahomes, and he basically tried to pull him out of there and obviously gain all the advantage for himself. Now, Michael, he's gone into the office and basically said, look, mate, I can offer some services. I can be real useful. I just need you to trust me. And obviously, they're not going to trust him. They don't know who he is and trust needs to be earned. Well, Michael, he's gone out his way and basically, you know what he's done? He's turned the water back on. He realised that the pipework was blocked. He ran his hands down the side. He could feel like all the water, you know, where the condensation was going. And then boom, where it was dry, obviously from where the blockage is, where nowhere else in the pipework had some water. So he's dropped some alcohol down into the drains, into a bag. He set it on fire. It's trickled down, blew it up like a mini explosion, hit the basically blockage out of the way, and brought water to everybody in the prison because there was a riot nearly taking place, mate, because obviously, like I said, he was in extreme circumstances, extreme heat, no water, dehydration, everybody panicking, and Michael has just shown that he is a decent asset and he got the bounty lifted off of Wheeler's head, which then obviously gives them the chance in today's episode or a couple of future ones to work together and obviously start formulating a plan to get out of there. Lincoln, obviously, he's working on the outside. He's tracked down the girlfriend or the person that he was trying to get information to, you know, when he was sticking the notes inside of Michael's pockets, and he's traced her all the way to a bank. She's gone into the bank, into a lockbox, and got whatever it was that was inside of it. Lincoln's chased her down, took the bag off her, took the information. Turns out to be a book on birds. I'm not really too sure what that's all about. And now he's going to try and decipher that himself and see what he can use and bring to the table. As well as Sucre, you know, he could have gone to Mary Cruz. He found out from Bellic that he didn't really have her. He never did. He was just bluffing because he needed to get her on his side. You know what I mean? He knew that obviously in the situation that they was in, they wasn't be able to make contact with each other. So he was hoping that because he had the crucifix, because he took it off her when she was trying to run away, that it would be used as obviously motivation to help Sucre with him, obviously to get teabagged so that they could return to each other. After he revealed that obviously he never had her, he called her, he said, look mate, I love you, I want to be with you, but right now, obviously after having a conversation with Lincoln, I realised that I'm not the best for you. I need you and the baby to stay in Chicago, to be calm, be safe, and be healthy. When I get my life back together, when I'm not on the run, when I know what to do properly, me and you could be together again. So that's kind of sad for him, but obviously it gives me some good motivation that he's going to be in the season working with Lincoln to extract Michael out of the prison. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode. Who's coming to him? We're going to try and attack him.
I need some money and I didn't know where else to go.
You gonna place the crash, I got your back, but the backpack's gone.
Never go home again.
You got problems, sir?
You ain't the only one, Link.
We're all guilty of something, man. All of us.
Take too long for men to become animal, no?
Hey, I was here first.
Mumpy bitch, you've been here 2 days.
I mean, I was the first one to the shoe, you sack in the box. Now hand it over.
You asking for a chicken footprint.
I guess one shoe's better than none.
Leave him, leave him.
Anyway, I thought maybe we could make some kind of arrangement. Help out around Sona.
You help me. So if anyone want anything at Sona, it's me them I come to.
Lincoln's obviously back.
That bad, huh? We weren't the only ones following this direction. This girl was there. It says it's some kind of fisherman. Listen, man, I want you to check something out. Today's paper. She's pointing at Santa Rita. It's a small town 20 miles from here.
I have to talk to her, like.
Even if they let you talk to her, man, they'll be listening to every word you said. You can't do that.
We're gonna need more than the name of that town. It's already been 3 days, and I got nothing to show for it. You're gonna have to break them out of there.
So, you know, last season I was thinking, you know, I was saying maybe it's Lincoln that breaks Michael out. But maybe another thing, maybe we get 2 breakouts going. Michael on the inside getting Whistler out, and Lincoln on the outside trying to get LJ and, you know, Sarah out. That'd be pretty good, that. 2 different breakouts going. See who could do the best one and execute it more clever. And you know what, that'd be actually really good. And she's pointing, isn't she? She's holding the paper, but like her fingers like kind of like stuck around. That's not how you would hold it. He's done quite well to find that.
I'm a fisherman. Really? So am I. You're worried about trusting me? My life is in your hands.
Number 1, right? You watch the Sports Center?
Not recently. Look, I need to get my hands on a phone.
Who you gotta call so important anyway?
Sarah.
Absolutely not. You have a better chance of banging me on that bar than you do of talking to her.
It's not a matter of negotiation. Government rip out all the phones.
Michael got the bounty of Whistler's head in 2 days. That's more than your people could do in 2 weeks. You want him to fetch? You throw him a bone.
How does Michael think he's gonna get his hands on a phone inside Sona?
Only one man has access to it.
And it
He's
may...
never let us on Audio like you.
No, the man in charge.
Let me guess.
What is?
The weekly from your operations on the outside.
Theodoro, set up some of the barber downstairs for me now. Tell that bitch, she nicked me with a razor again, I'm gonna use it on her.
You're still alive. When I didn't hear from you,
I'm sorry. I warned you it might be a bit...
I know. It's just every time they dragged out a body.
Look at me. I promise you, when I leave this place, it won't be like that. Now, were you able to find my book?
There was this guy. He followed me. I'm sorry. I didn't know what to do.
What did he look like?
He said to tell you that Schofield's brother has it now.
Look, Sophia, the less you know about this, the safer you'll be.
The less I know, the less help I'll be.
Exactly. You know, phone numbers. It's people who know people that are going to help me get out of here.
You're lying.
Why would I lie to you? No, I just need you to trust me.
Under what?
Nothing.
She's found this hotel room now.
You looking for something, Blanquito?
It's a little something to pass the time.
Go down to the lost and found with the rest of them. They'll hook you up proper.
I want you to check something out, all right?
Yeah, Michael's got to cut another deal with him.
Man, it's like she's pointing at something.
You better tell my cousin he better make himself available. Better him short money than me short patience.
Talk to the barber. She's gonna squeeze you in today around 2.
He's proper kissing his ass in it. I said that I feel like these 2 are going to get into a thing, you know.
We're gonna make a deal. Lachero has a cell phone.
Let me get this straight. You're saying you're gonna tell on me?
This here is a religious country, and I'm willing to bet the good folks down in Panama don't take too kindly to rapists and pedophiles.
What I would say if I was Teabag is I would try and counter Michael there if I was Teabag and say, how can they validate his story? Is that a word? I feel like it is. Like what he's saying. So like Michael could be all talk. We know it's not. We know that Michael's telling the truth and that is literally what Teabag is. All of those things. But the people inside, it's just one man's word against another without anybody being able to verify it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then if the information does spread, Teabag has been really good to the guy in charge. Do you know what I mean? To him, he's been his little servant. He's running around. He's doing his errands. He's been reliable. So, you know what I mean? Up until this point. And I know Michael was last episode with the water, but in terms of, you know, accusations, it's just he said, she said. You know what I mean? Until somebody can put some facts on the table, you would just resort back into, until there's proof, nothing's going to be changing.
I know you've got a brother helping on the outside. I know you ran into my girlfriend, and I know we took a book from her that belongs to me. What's so special about this book? Well, unless it has directions out of this prison, I don't think it should really matter to you. Let me tell you what I know so far. Very bad people who've done some very bad things want you alive. You're upset because someone took a book from you. This is what they took from me.
Mate, if the guy wants Michael's help, then he needs to tell him what information's in the book, doesn't he?
I think a blackguard is trying to steal my business. And is taking advantage of my situation. Maybe the problem is... Augusto. I'm a phone come unplugged, huh? My battery dead. Oh, none of you know nothing, huh?
Oh, has he got a visitor? Or do you reckon he's just outside getting some air away from everyone?
Mr. Mahone, we
got you a trial date.
Thank God. I think I when?
June 13.
Next year. How the hell is that great news? It's a no-brainer for you. I got a guy.
The notion of one inmate taking the fall for another is not exactly fresh, and usually means someone was pressured into the confession.
I require a certain medication. It's called Veritril, and if you
Look, if you're asking me to smuggle drugs into this prison, then
no.
Good luck, Mr. Mahoney.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
Probably pull it now, won't we, after shouting at him? But it's ages away, that, literally. Imagine if he was innocent and you had to wait that long.
Boss, it's almost 2 o'clock.
You want your cell phone, brother? No, just be a happy hour.
Mate, I don't understand why you'd leave something so valuable around like that. You know what I mean? It's the only bit of contact you got to the outside. Just been swiped just like that.
Make that 26 minutes till he gets back. If that phone ain't back on the cradle, we're both dead, you hear me?
I only have 25 minutes with this phone link. Get her on the line, okay? This is a one-shot deal.
Oh, she's following him.
Hey, looks like we got off on the wrong foot here. I never even got your name.
Oh, is he trying to flirt?
That's a beautiful name.
I like me men a little more, how you say, not fat.
Fat? This is all muscle. Not true to you. I didn't think you'd take things south of the border.
Welcome, Patron. I'm so honored to have you.
Oh, girl's gotta look her best.
This ain't a game, sister. I mean, pretty clear you need us. So stop pretending you're in charge and give us what we want when we want it.
They're trying to play that they're in the position of power, right? But they don't really show any sort of authority or advantage or anything.
I miss how we used to talk. Do you remember? Good, because I saw your picture today.
It's a lost cause. LJ and I can see it now. It's a lost cause. Maybe you just need more time. It's like they're giving you until midnight, and I'm sitting here at 3 a.m. They're saying I have to hang up.
He's just giving him some codes. Actually, I was just giving him some codes. I mean, for Michael, that's beneficial. He's got some information. What I'm thinking about this is they've lost a budget or they've been cut and Sarah's in it minimal this season because the camera couldn't even focus on her. That was obviously not the actress who plays Sarah in that chair just then, in my personal opinion. It's just a random person that obviously got the hair to look like them and we just got a voiceover from her. I don't know if they lost some money or something. Did the viewerships go down? I don't know, but the way they've just played it there though, like we didn't even see her face. But she definitely dropped in cold. You know, Michael was saying, do you remember how we used to talk? You know, I got your message. He was talking in cold. She was like, yeah. And then she said her cold kind of back to him. It's a lost cause or something, did she say? Michael, man, you need to figure it out. You're good at deciphering him. So, yeah, try and figure it out and see what she was actually trying to intend to say to you without anybody else around listening and knowing what it was.
She said it was a lost cause. She said she could see it was a lost cause.
So?
The patron saint of lost causes is Saint Rita. She was never telling us where they were. She was telling us what they could see from where they were. To you.
Yo, so Michael was quick to kind of decipher that she was telling him a code.
Let's go. I mean, no, in fact, that there might just be the best shave I've ever seen.
It's not charging properly. It's on the thing, but it's not charging. Do you reckon he's sensing teabag now? I'll say, I'll just ring the same number back.
Who is this?
Yeah, he was smart there.
Don't move. I want to know what the hell you're doing to James Whistler.
I'm doing nothing to James Whistler. Listen, we're on the same team, all right? Well, I'm one of the guys who's gonna break him out.
He has a lawyer.
I don't know what he's told you or who he is.
I know who he is.
Right, a fisherman that people want out so badly, they're willing to kidnap my son to get him.
I know she said that she loves him and that, but like, does she actually know him at all? Like, what he does?
Let you know you don't have to watch your back. Make sure I don't have to watch mine. Never know when you'll need a friend in this place.
Where are you from?
Boardman, Ohio.
Calbari.
Australia. Good fishing.
You're that cop, aren't you? You know, I was looking at that Schofield. I was trying to figure why he looks so bloody familiar. I mean, is he dangerous?
What's it to you?
Just curious as to what kind of chap I'm dealing with.
Depends on why you'd be dealing with him. For those that he cares about, he'll do just about anything.
I can guess which side you ended up on. Thanks for the chat.
Clock.
Can she see him?
It's like they were giving us until midnight, sitting at 3 a.m.
Oh, right. And yo, that's really good. 3 o'clock from the statue, yeah. I mean, obviously she's just showing him that he's there, but... I mean, he found him and lost him instantly. I mean, it's not his fault, but now he's in a worse position than he was 5 minutes ago. Did you see how we didn't see Sarah once? I'm on it, mate. Not enough money to get her in this episode.
Did you see them? Did they look all right?
As far as I could tell, yeah. Michael, we can do this. They wouldn't have gone to all this trouble to put you in here if it wasn't possible to get out.
The thing is, Michael could have the ability to do it when he's at full strength, but in here you don't know the conditions and how it's going to break you down. You don't think as logical as you would when you're at full, you know what I mean, full capacity.
Your friend, the one in the picture, you say she's the reason you're here? The woman your brother met on the outside. Her name is Sophia. She's the reason I'm here. I've been splitting time between here and the Pacific Northwest running charters.
Fishing.
Now, about a year ago, I took a guy out. He was taking water samples, measurements.
What for?
I don't know. I didn't really care as long as the check cleared. In these government times, they started showing up at my flat asking questions. So I got low, I came down to Panama, and I moved in with Sophia full time. And then I end up here, where those same people show up at visitation, saying they're gonna get me out. And when they do, I'm to take them to the same place that I took that guy.
If that book's as valuable as you say it is, maybe I should hold on to it for a little while. The only thing I'm responsible for is getting you out of here. Whatever's between you and them is between you and them.
If it isn't the entertainer, how about a joke for us, boy?
Not now, fellas. I gotta get...
Why don't you do a little dance for us, huh? How about a little jig? No!
I want him to show that he's no pushover as well. Do you know what I mean? Maybe, right? Do you know what I would love? This one, it's ruthless, yeah? But one of those three guys, not the one that's just pinned him up against the wall. So maybe the pony guy, because I've got long hair and I, you know, don't like people who are not joking. But one of them, yeah, him to have killed them. So when they come back to the room later, one of them's dead on the floor, one of them's hanging from the top of the balcony, something. You know what I mean? Internally, then three will know, or well, two of them, because one's dead. That's probably Teabag. The rest of the people will be scouring around trying to figure out what it is, who's doing it. But he'll know that he's not there to be pushed around and shoved around. And yeah, okay, he might look like he's bending over backwards and being somebody's little personal slave. But at the end of the day, if you push him into a corner, mate, he's going to come out swinging. And he ain't got no problem who it is, depending, you know, like, it doesn't matter what rank you are. If you come after him, he'll take you out.
For giving me a hand up in here, but if it's all the same, I just like to be relieved of my duties. Been around long enough to know that when the dominoes start falling, it's the new guy who gets blamed for bumping the table. I ain't no rat.
I'm not asking you to be a rat. I'm asking you to be a friend.
I was walking earlier and I heard some voices talking about to hell with Lechero. Now, I couldn't tell who it was, but when I got around the corner, I recognized the faces, the very same faces I've seen in this room. I hope this makes us even.
You're gonna stay on. As my ears. You'll report back to me everything you hear.
Look at
when I'm not around.
Ah, man, he's sick, T-Man. I mean, I obviously knew what he was doing there.
But Michael, you know, it's interesting how you don't seem rattled at all by our current accommodations. You stop me when I'm wrong. Company wanted you here in Panama alive, but you seem to really care about the fate of this Whistler guy, and I gotta tell you something, he's really curious about you too. Let's see, what special talents do you have that the company might make the decision that you are worth more to them alive than dead?
He's smart though. I don't feel like he'll make a rash decision. I think he'll try and figure something. Ah, Belly K-Wiggin. What's he looking at there? Like plant fertilizer? I don't know.
Look, you had to try. And I probably would have done the same thing myself if I were you. I left you a little something in the garage. It's by the trash.
If it's LJ or Sarah dead, then they're never going to get their plan done. Like, they'll just go against him. Oh, what do you think it is? I have no idea, literally. Ah, that's the end of the episode as well. It went actually pretty quick. You know what I mean? What I would have done is I would have chopped off a middle finger and put a fake hand there. When he opened it up, a real finger popped up like that. Do you know what I mean? Whether it was LJ's or Sarah's, you know, I would have just done that. Like, but no idea what's in there. That box looked a bit bloody, if I'm being honest. The corners looked like the red was seeping through. So, I mean, it's got to be some sort of wound from them, whether it's a hand, a finger, do you know what I mean, a toe, something like that. It's got to be off one of them. You're not going to send him a package full of blood or whatever if it's not going to be something significant for him to obviously get the message, if that makes sense, you know. She's saying, look, I understand that you got to try at least one time, but we're not going to accept that again, you know what I mean? If you try anything like that, then you're going to get killed. And, you know, to make sure you understand the severity of this situation, there's a package down there. You know what I mean? And we've not seen what's in it, but it's got to be something big. It's something serious. Now, interestingly, I've got to say, Sarah done really well in terms of a cryptic message that she sent over to Michael. You know, and I've got to say, Michael and Lincoln, both of them together, worked really well in how fast they decoded it, deciphered it, whatever you want to call it. Now, I understand he threw a sandal out of the window, which obviously highlighted the location that he was in when he was around that statue. But he was kind of figuring it out himself. Looking at statues, looking at 12 o'clock, we're sat at 3 o'clock, I can see it. It was decent. I actually liked it. Didn't see Sarah physically, in person, her character at all this episode. We heard her voice and seen a fake Sarah, a stunt double or something like that. And I don't know if they've had funding cut me. I don't know, like, did season 2 not go as good as they thought it would be? Did they lose a lot of viewers? I'm not too sure, because as well, we're only 13 episodes, so like the season's like halved as well. And like I said, now we're 3 episodes in, and the only thing that we got of her is a picture. Now, LJ's been in it a little bit on the phone, and he's been in it in a little video moving around, and I think it was actually LJ today as well in that room in terms of that thing. But, you know, one of my, I wouldn't say negative points, but something that I would have improved if it was me is put LJ in the show more. I feel like Lincoln really cares for his son. I actually do. And I feel like, you know, the way we tried to use him and put him in prison and stuff like that last season, even though they'd done well to get him out and prove that he was okay, X, Y, and Z. Like, and I would have just had him more on the run, helping his dad, helping his uncle. Do you know what I mean? The connections are building. But, you know, it's given him motivation to do it. Michael is still going after Sarah. He's still obviously going after his son as well. Now, Bellick, he's been hiding away in terms of, well, behind the curtains in that bedroom. He was going in to get the second half of his shoe in it that he tried to rob off that dead body. And he ended up here wigging a conversation between Mahomes and Michael. Now, you know, I know, that if Bellick goes over to Michael and says, look, mate, I want in on this plan. I know that you're planning an escape. I know you're doing it for the Wheeler. I want a Whistler. I want to be in on it. You know, if he says no, then he's just going to go all the way up. He's just going to tell... you know what I mean? He's just going to tell the person in charge, and then obviously he's going to come crashing down onto Michael, or other people are going to want to get in the way and get on board with it, which he's not going to be happy with. He wants to keep it hush-hush right now and go for it, but, you know, the more it's kind of spreading. Like I said, Whistler knows about it, obviously Michael, Bellick, I think now, and, you know, Mahomes are all kind of got the feeling that something's going to go down. And Mahomes is underrated in terms of, they think that, you know, with his condition, with his drug problem, the way that he currently is, that he's not actually smart enough, and he can't really, you know, be an asset or something like that, and he kind of underestimating his abilities. But every single time I always see him in a situation where I think, mate, you know, this guy's looking bad, he's always still decoding things and figuring it out. Do you remember last season when he was on the board, and I thought that, you know, he looked like he was in a bad way, and then he ended up like decoding everything, finding out a location, figured it all out on this board, and then found it, and he was true, and everything that he worked out, you know, all these little symbols that Michael had, 617 or whatever he had, and all these little pi numbers and all that. I thought that he looked like he was about to go and spiral into a dark hole, and what he was actually doing is getting even better, working it out, going right into, you know, the craziness, and, you know, digging deep. And that's what I think's here. You look at him, you think, nah, this guy's not going to be doing anything. He looks like he's in a bad way. But then I also feel like he's assessing everything. It makes his brain go, and he's like thinking. And obviously knows something's going up as well. And if an escape's happening, you definitely want to be involved. Okay, that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let's start with Teabag. So, I can see what he's doing, me. Honestly, I really, really can. I know that Michael pinned him kind of up against the wall, put him into a corner. Do you know what I mean? Said, basically, still with his phone, I need to get in a conversation. Otherwise, I'm going to expose you to Lechero, and everybody's going to know that you're a rapist, you're a murderer. Do you know what I mean? You're a paedophile. And I don't think that's going to go well here in this prison, mate. It's probably going to be the end of you, to be honest. So you can literally go up there, stay in the position that you are on your high horse, thinking that you're the best, and go in there, get me the phone, or I can air your dirty secrets and let's see where you will be in a couple of days' time. Do you know what I mean? So he's had to do it. He's had to go in, he stole the phone, he's given it Michael. He's obviously called Sarah, they've had a conversation, stole the location to Lincoln. Like I said, he's gone. He's tried to get him. His son tried to get her as well, Sarah. They've extracted him out of the building. They knew that he was coming. Obviously, they've left him a message at the end of the episode just there. We're going to see that in the start, hopefully, of tomorrow's. But going back to Teabag, you know, like I said, he was back against the wall, but also he's looking at the other members of Lechero's group, and he's noticing that they're not big fans of him. They could tell that, you know, he's working his way up, and, you know, their positions seem threatened. And what he's basically done is, everybody's done it in real life, where, like, you go to say something to someone, and then you say, do you know what, actually, it doesn't matter, just forget about it. And then as soon as somebody says that to you, you're like, forget about it, mate. You've just started a conversation. Just finish it. Just tell me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's literally what he done. He baited him. He was saying something. He said, "There's people, like I'm going to quit from my position because there's people in your organisation that are doing things that I want nothing to be a part of." And I know what it's like, mate. I've been in positions before. You know, when things start to happen, it's always the last person through the door that eyes get looked at. It's the new guy. And it's like when you're in a company as well. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, usually if you're cutting people from it, you got too many people working there and you have to save costs. It's always the last in that's the first to go. And it's kind of like in this position here. Do you know what I mean? He's like, look, some dodgy business is going down and people are going to start blaming and pointing fingers. Who they're going to look at? Yes, the last person coming into the organisation. And I'm going to remove myself from this situation before anybody blames me for anything. Lechero's just turned around and obviously like, look, mate, if you know something's going on, then I want you to tell me. He's flipped it and said, look, mate, I don't want to be a rat. I don't want to tell anybody anything. Do you know what I mean? I just want to stick to myself and be good and just stay how I am. He's turned around and said, look, mate, I've been nice to you. I want you to talk to me as a friend. Don't think a bit about us writing it out. Don't think a bit about it as me being kind of like your boss. Just two friends talking to each other. Just let me know. In fact, you know what? I want you to be the eyes and ears of my organisation. Anybody in here that you hear doing any business or anything like that, I want you to just relay it to me. Do you know what I mean? And like, he loves it. You could tell. He straight away, he's turned around, he's laughing, he's buzzing, mate. It worked just like that. It was well easy. He fell right into his trap. So it's going to be interesting. To be honest, like I said, you know, I would have, if I was Teabag, I would have killed one of them 3 people, but his position was even better. What he's doing is he's actually like slowly throwing them underneath the bus and making situations not like awkward for him, but now he's making Lechero a bit paranoid that can I trust him? Do you know what I mean? What should I say around them? And he can also drop things here and there saying that they said this, they'll do this, they'll do that, even if they're not, just to stir the pot a bit more. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly, if we get to like mid-season or whatever and like, you know, Lechero sat on the throne and like Teabag's like second in command, do you know what I mean? He's got a high throne himself. Or if we end the season and like obviously Michael's trying to do the escape and whatnot, but Teabag's in there, do you know what I mean? Like king of the castle, loving it, getting everybody slaving for him. That's literally something that I could see him doing. Now, like I said, Bellig, you know, today he's heard some information. He knows that Michael's probably planning another escape and he's going to want to get into it as well. Yeah, Sucre, you know, he's obviously going through a tough time right now. He's on a little bit of a downward spiral because of what's happening with Mari Cruz. That he can't go back to Chicago, so he's still here. Don't really know what to do. He wanted a bit of money to get back on the straight and narrow, but obviously Lincoln said he hasn't got any of that right now. We know where it is. It's in that lake. They said they didn't recover it, did they? So if they actually go back there, they'd be able to retrieve the backpack. I know it's all wet, but I know that you could probably dry it out, and then it'd be good to use in obviously the future. How interesting, like talking about retrieving things. You know, we did see that that book was retrieved by Lincoln. Well, by the female that Lincoln then obviously taken off her, and it was about pigeons or whatever. You know what I mean? It was a bird book, and Michael was asking him, like, what's wrong with that book? Like, why is it so important? He actually said to him, look, mate, you know, a year ago, I was doing trips, I was fishing, I was, you know, like, sailing my boat out into sea. Somebody asked me to take them out there so they could do some samples and do some testing or whatnot. I done that, they took it, you know, I didn't really ask any questions, you know, as long as I was getting paid, they could do whatever they want. Do you know what I mean? The less I know, the better for me, to be honest. And then, a couple of months later, somebody's come knocking on my door, asking about where did I take this guy, asking about what I've done this, asking about what they was testing. I said that I didn't know what was going on. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what they was doing. They've asked me to take them to the location. I said that I couldn't, you know, like, you know, fast forward, I'm here, I'm in the prison. Do you know what I mean? I need that book. It's got the location, it's got my coordinates. I write down all the shipping lanes and all the locations that I've been into the margins. I have no idea if he's telling the truth. Sounds like a plausible story, if I'm being totally honest. You know, his girlfriend seems to think that he's a fisherman, keeps talking like he's a fisherman, and his story that he told Michael was in some sort of relation to sailing and stuff like that. So, you know, it'd be interesting to see if he is. I feel like the context of his story is kind of telling the truth, but I feel like him saying that he don't know what was going on, or like he saying that he don't know who was testing it, or he was saying he don't know what was being looked for. I feel like that's probably a lie. But the rest of the things, you know, the margins, writing information in, going out there, testing, people coming questioning, I feel like he's probably telling the truth on that one. So, again, another bit of, you know, mysteriousness around the character, and I can't wait to see, obviously, what's unravelled from them and the rest of the season that we have in store for us. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.